Hello everybody, welcome back to Dad Plays Minecraft. I'm JD. Today we're going to be looking at yet another seed. This time, this is the Welsknight Gaming seed. And I have to say, it is so different from all the others. The others have a lot of water, this has very little. This is mostly land and huge forests. Just wait until you see. This whole seed gives me a Lord of the Rings vibe. It's just amazing. If you're interested in mostly forests, then this is the seed for you. Let's take a look around spawn. As you can see, this is already a very nicely buildable area. Got some plains, mountains with some huge caves, and forests all over the place. One thing you will notice in this seed is how extensive the taiga forests are. See a swamp over there too. We're already starting off looking at, well, huge caves. Just incredible. I should say the mountains are also absolutely humongous in this seed and very unusual. But let's take a look at the key points around spawn. The closest village to spawn is a Taiga Village, and it's not too far away. It's a fairly decent looking village here. Little fixing up here might do, but it's not too small, but also not very big. Coming over the mountains from the swamp, you come across this ravine, which is quite deep. Nothing quite special about it, but right over here is a plains village. This one, well, it seems kind of interesting. Some things are floating, like this house. Although I think that's where a cleric is. But we have a blacksmith there. And if you keep going this way, we have another ravine. Now this one is kind of interesting. Got a bit of an entrance there, but if we take a look at this, it seems like a fairly ordinary looking ravine, doesn't it? But just go this way, and there's a little strange cut here. It joins back up over here, but it's deeper down there. It's an unusual double ravine where the two ravines are pretty much parallel to each other. I just thought that was an interesting looking ravine. Back at this ravine, if we go right down here, got a bit of a cave. Let's take a look. Just go in here, it's not too far. And you will find, oh, it's right over here. There it is. It is a zombie spawner. Some nice stuff in the chest here. Got two of those, and Smite and Lure enchanting book. Starting off with the swamp, if you go into these mountains right over here, this is an example of the craziness that you can see. All these floating mountains. You'll find these to be everywhere in this seed. It's again, this would be great for fantasy, and I don't know, they're just everywhere. The mountains are incredible in this seed. I love the canyons, but not too far from here we have another one of these things. This time it's a fairly large floating block of land. Got a floating island in the sky. I guess your own personal sky block. So we're going to head to the northwest of spawn, and this is scenery that you'll see a lot of. Taiga forest. But let's take a look at this ravine here. As you can see, there's a nice little garden area, but if we go down here and into the ravine, just go a bit further this way, and right up here. we have a zombie spawner. So what have we got? Depth Strider. And another cat disc. Some other notable landmarks in the northwest are this really wide ravine. Goes down pretty far too. These roofed forest islands should be interesting to build on. This really wide ravine. This one has some pretty nice big caves in it. We just go down, yep, right down here. Got some pretty good caves all around here. And I quite like this little bit here. You can go under here. Now this is a very interesting ravine. Just so many caves to explore. Absolutely everywhere. Just look at that. And next to this beautiful rugged coastline, the only shipwreck within 1,000 blocks of spawn. The north is mostly wilderness, but in the northeast we do have a couple of villages, like this nice Taiga Village. And then deep in the forest is this Taiga Village. This one is special. So let's go take a look. This one's up on a hill, which is interesting. And it just seems like it's totally inaccessible because it is in the forest. But it's, I don't know, I just love the surroundings here. But we need to find the bell, and it's right over here. Let's go right down and check out the Stronghold. So here we are. So just follow this way, and this one is interesting. This is definitely an interesting one here. So let's go. Let's keep going down. Oh, I can hear it. We have a zombie spawner in the Stronghold. It includes an enchanted apple and some more horse armor and another disc. But if we keep going this way, keep going down, past our friends there, not this way, and this way. And we've got the portal. So let's go to the south, where there's a lot more to see. Of course, it's still forested. We have a nice long ravine. Nothing special about this one. But right next to it is a Taiga Village. That's a fairly decent looking village. But if we go over here, we find yet another ravine. This one has been split by this pond, or this little lake here. But this one is interesting. It's not very long. We do have something to see in here. I should mention this is in a slime chunk. And right here is a zombie spawner. It's exposed. We got a couple more discs. Again, it's Cat and 13. These seem to be very common. And this one, Piercing 2 and Diamond Horse Armor. Looks good. Right next to these gravel mountains, we have a tiny village. This is not very big at all, but hidden here is something interesting. Go over here. It looks like a crater in the ground, but there is another ravine. This one is fairly narrow and not too much to see, but there are some caves in here. There's a lot of swampland in this seed. We have our first witch hut, and not too far away From that witch hut, we come across the swamp to this interesting ravine. Now this is just one half of it. This is a split ravine. This part, we have an absolutely vertical wall. Kinda nuts. But the other side of it is incredibly wide. I love these wide ravines. Short, but wide. Most likely, you clicked on the thumbnail because of this. We have Pillager Outpost, almost inside a Taiga Village. I wouldn't want to live in this village. I wonder if they're raided constantly. Gee. You love Taiga Villages, don't you? Because here is another one. At a nice right angle. And another, with a river running through it. Got lots of Taiga villages here. And this one looks like it goes out into this bit of a lake, which is quite nice to have some water nearby. And a roofed forest, too. And finally, to the southwest, we find this decent-sized plains village with a blacksmith that is actually a really good size, and it happens to be right next to a swamp with a witch hut in a very short distance away. A short distance away from the village, which is right over there, is this ravine. It's a fairly wide ravine, but it doesn't have much notable to say about it. I'd just like to remind you that this seed has some pretty nice scenery. It's got some nice forests. There's roofed forest, plains, and absolutely crazy mountains. These are just chaotic. And you'll find a lot of these around this seed. See some of these. Crazy stuff, isn't it? Including this cow that likes this little bit here. Moo to you too. We're not done with the villages. Right by this swamp and surrounded by a roofed forest, a fairly extensive one I think, is this plains village. And unfortunately, it does not have a blacksmith. But you got something really nice down here. So let's take a look and just go down. It's a mineshaft. Nice to see. And finally, one of the best places to go in this seed. We have a Pillager Outpost. It's our second one. And it's right by a fairly small Taiga village. But there's a ravine right next to it. Now if we go over here into this ravine, actually I kind of like this little spot here. You'd be able to build something here, I think. But if we go in here, go down a bit, there we are, another spawner. This one is yet another zombie spawner. This one has Respiration 2, Sharpness 3, and Diamond Horse Armor. Pretty nice. Another Diamond Horse Armor. And Iron, if you want it. If you ask me, this is a great seed to go adventuring in. The dense forests, the hidden villages, all of the spawners that you can find. There's quite a bit to find. And, yeah, you can also have Enderman walking through a Pillager Outpost. Alright, so let me know where you would like to build in this seed. If you would like to build in it, then great, then definitely. Let me know if you want to, and I'd love to see what you can do with this seed. And I'd also like to thank Welsknight Gaming for being such a great Minecraft YouTuber. Love watching his videos. And he's just been an inspiration for me as well. So if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see some more seeds, then please consider subscribing. We'll see you next time.